Hey everybody, welcome back. Good evening, good evening. It is me, myself, and I, Monica Reed and Zaneta Wooden. We are back again this evening with another empowering and inspiring conversation for you all. Just want to see how you all are feeling today. How are you feeling, Zaneta?
Good.
Good.
Stir crazy.
Too many days in the house?
Yes.
Just too many days.
Even me as a I'm a self-proclaimed introvert,
Mm,
homebody.
mm.
Yeah, because I hate malls. I hate going outside. I hate shopping. I really
Really?
do. I just go in and out. Yes. Yeah.
Wow. No,
I'm.
I like malls.
Mm-mm.
I don't mind. I don't mind. Nah, I
Now,
don't
if I'm going stir crazy,
mind. Well, if you all are joining us tonight, I mean, really, we're just jumping on here to really just keep our moms encouraged, especially during a time like this. I know I was, talking about us moms in the midst of all this mess. We have taken on all these different hats and roles and things like that. But I don't know, something laid on my heart today, so I wanted to share with you all. I wanted to share with Zaneta. She's actually hearing this for the first time today. But,
ooh,
I got to a place where in my life where my children are, two of my children are over 18. And I remember once upon a time saying, I can't wait till you turn 18. I can't wait till you turn 18. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Hello, everyone. Hello. Michelle says hello, Zanetta. She said, hello, lady.
hey, hello.
Yes. So, you had a question?
Oh, that's my girl. Hey, girl. Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So you can't wait for them to turn 18. Go
I
ahead.
can't wait till they turn 18. And I remember saying that all the time. Like, I can't wait till you turn 18. I think it's like just, as a mom, when you have the kids, it's like, you're so excited. It's like, oh, I have you. You're so cute. And now I can't wait for you to crawl. And then I can't wait for you to walk. And then I can't wait for you to do this. And it's like we're such in a rush to get to that next moment, that next
Mm-hmm.
chapter for them that once upon a time, I remember saying, I can't wait till you turn 18 because then I don't have to do A, B, C, and D. And then when they turn 18, I was like, holy crap, that doesn't feel well.
Yeah.
I was like, because it's a whole nother chapter.
So,
Like it's a
so what doesn't feel well?
I don't know. It's the distancing, like they want to be on their own, and you're constantly worried. I actually think you worry more when they
Yeah.
turn 18. I've discovered that. It felt like, I don't know, this is just me and my personal. Let me know if you guys are relating to this, but it felt like a separation or like a grieving process. I don't know. I don't know. I remember, like I said, I just remember saying that all the time. And then when they finally got 18, I'm like, you know what? Let me try to take that time back.
Right. Right. What's
Yeah.
up, D? D is
Yes.
with
Hey,
us.
Z, how are you? How are you? How you been? Yes. So thank you for joining us today. So I don't know.
Yeah. So all of mine
Hmm.
um, are over 25.
Mm.
And when my firstborn turned 18,
Mm.
it was like, oh, thank God. Since you know it all, now
Hmm.
you're going to really experience what life really is.
Experience it
You
all.
know, so, yes, go ahead and. But as soon as she left, it's like, oh my God, is she okay? Is she doing? It's like t- that umbilical cord has been severed for real.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like a permanent, sever, and there's nothing you can do because of the choices that they make.
Mhm.
And I remember my daughter, my youngest. Oh, she tells me about the story as well. We still talk about it. And she was 18 and she was in a relationship. And, I said, sweetheart, I don't approve. And she said, you know what? I'm grown. This is my life. This is who I choose. Stay out of my relationship.
Wow. Okay.
I can't say, go to your room because they're grown,
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? You're right. You are 18. This is your life.
Absolutely.
Okay. But just
Yeah.
know that I'm here. And of course, she came running back to me and, Mom, you were right.
Yes.
I don't want to say I told you so.
Told you so. Yeah. Don't want to say that,
but I told you so. No, I'm playing. No, but yeah, it becomes more difficult because
yes.
Makai's age, it's easy, really.
It is. Well, yes. Yes, it is. You see me hesitate. I was like, I don't know what's right. What's the right answer? What's the right answer? But no, it is. It definitely is because it's like, not to say we want control, but it is the situation is
I think you froze.
I think the situation that was you. But I think it's more controllable. I think that if you hear me, can you still hear me?
That's not me. That's you.
Oh, sorry. So I think that at his age, it's more controllable.
Yeah, we just came back on.
Yes. So I didn't say very much, but I was just saying that.
No, you didn't.
At his age, it's a little bit more controllable, but when they turn 18, it's like, it's like, wow, they're 18, I can say but so much, but you really necessarily don't have to do. So I think who gave me the best advice probably was you. You have to really look at yourself as a coach to them at this point and remove the whole I'm your parent attitude.
Yes.
I can only coach you through the things I've been through, you know what I mean, on your journey and share with you my experience. So you do kind of shift roles. Yeah. So Deshauna says, yes, 2 days.
I'm freezing.
She said 2 down. Deshauna, she knows it was her. It was her. So,
no.
So it says 2 down. She said, I have 2 down and 2 to go, but you never feel freed. And it's true because, you just constantly have this sense of, a worry and to make sure that they're all good. And I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but as new moms really want to make sure that we shield them from all of the experiences that we had. Right? Not realizing that we have to actually allow them to go through their own experiences in order for them to get the lesson. And that was really big for me. One was, so that was a good thing for me when I shifted that mindset.
Yeah, because sometimes, even though in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be, like how I grew up, kind of thing. And I want to be able to have my kids have a better, life, better role model, better, decisions in life. And so you're trying to teach these kind of values and granted, we all go through the hormonal stage.
Yes. Excuse me, you to get this good old coffee.
Make really stupid mistakes. See that this is you. This is not me.
Deshauna, it's not me. but no, seriously.
So it's like you're just there to give guidance. You're there to give guidance. And even like what we talked about yesterday. With Zaneta, I still had that worry. With my daughter, but you said it you said it plainly. I was an example, and so she's now doing, what I showed her, is to help whenever is needed. It doesn't matter whether for me, she's putting herself in danger. That's me. And she's also putting her health and herself on the line. At the same note, she's helping those that really do need that help, to go to the store, to buy them grocery, to to go out in the elements for them, so that the people can be protected.
Yeah,
So I understand that, but it's a dichotomy.
it
It's
is.
just it's a struggle.
It is.
I like it, but I don't.
I don't like it. It was funny because like even when my son went off to school, I was like, you know firsthand, but for a lot of people who don't know, so I know you guys can all relate to this. For those who have children who go off and leave the home, and they go off to leave, for whether it be for college or get in their own places and things like that. I really serious because it was my first time experiencing that. I really shut down. And I think we shut down completely as a family because it was like we weren't used to being separate from each other. So I really did go through some serious, like, get up out of bed and get your coffee and he's okay, and call him up. And when he wasn't answering the phone, what are you doing? And where's your phone? And all that type of things. Like, I had to go through that. But for me, it showed me that, for one, we can do it, right? You can do it as a parent.
Hmm.
For two, it was my opportunity to witness everything that I had instilled in him, and
Yeah.
or that we as a family have instilled in him. But it still didn't feel good. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, come home. I'm like, come
Yeah.
home. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. No, Deshauna, it's not me. This is Monica's platform, so no, it's not me.
I give her the Monica face now, like, let me know if you guys, let me know if you can relate to this conversation, because again, we're just really just trying to encourage us moms, because sometimes as a mom, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I I really don't talk to many people about what it is that I'm feeling. But what I realized was, once I started to express how I was feeling, there were other moms who were going through the same thing and feeling the same way, that I could talk to. And they're like, it's going to get better. Don't worry, and even though it may not had eliminated all of my fears or concerns, it still was
Hmm.
comforting to know that somebody had gone through the same thing. And it was my
Yeah. Yeah.
time. And now I'll be able
Yeah.
to support another woman who would go through the same thing.
Yes. Yeah. So, like with me, I have three of them that are older. And I have two grandkids. And Michelle, she says she's not ready for those years. It's coming. You can never be ready. You really can't. You can never be ready. I
Yeah,
mean, you say it in your mind. You're happy that they're going to live their
yeah,
own life. They're going to make their own choices, their own decisions, and try to start their career or non-career,
yeah.
or go to
Oh,
college or
talk about
don't go to
that.
college,
Mm.
you know. But
I had to
ultimately,
stick
it's
to
their
that.
life,
I did. I had to
right?
stick to that. You had
Yeah.
to, even with that, So definitely, Michelle says, I have a moment just when my daughter has a sleepover. I don't know how I am going to be when she turns 18. Let me tell you. It's one of those things. Wait till that one day she just doesn't call back home and be like, oh, I fell asleep. I'm sorry I didn't call. I fell asleep. You like, I was up all night. It's just,
Yeah.
and it's a worry. And it's like, they're sitting there, hear you ringing and, calling, but they're off doing their thing. So, and I would boil up, and then I'm just like, you know what, just pray that they're fine. They're okay. And I
Yeah.
had to constantly rewrite my thoughts. Like,
Hmm.
stop thinking that every time they don't pick up the phone, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is. It's a concern. I will never ever say how it feels like to be an African American,
Mm-hmm.
uh, even though my kids are. My kids are. If you look at my kids, they'll you can tell they're mixed, but um, the prom the if they're out in the streets, they'll be saying, yeah, they're black, they're African
Yeah.
American, and I will never ever say that I know what it feels like. Um, but especially with my kids, that I was in the car and we got pulled over,
Yeah.
but for no apparent reason. We were doing the speed limit. Um, my son at the time had the fro, you know, and he had his headphones, and he was sitting in the back seat. And when we got pulled over, the cop went to his side in the back
Mm.
and told him to roll down his window. And I was like, "Excuse me?"
Wow.
Yes. So that infuriated me, but I still can't, because you know I, that's another concern,
It is.
especially that the day that we're living in.
Absolutely.
And then now with this new pandemic that it's another concern. It's
It
just
is.
an added concern. So a mom, as a parent, we really do not get that. Like what? Let me see. Who said it? You're not really free. Yeah,
Deshauna.
Tashana.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not really free. You're
No.
not really free from that worry, from that wanting to be that mama bear.
Yeah. To
You
comfort.
know.
Yeah. To comfort them,
Yeah.
protect them. So something you said, I'm going to definitely, I definitely understand what you were talking about. Ty, little Ty, he's like his mom. He wears a lot of his expressions on his face. And I always tell him, it's all, sometimes it's read wrong. I've experienced that my entire life. I would have people say, fix your face. Why do you have a problem with her? Or, things like that. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me. But, sometimes people will try to read you and they can totally
Hmm.
misread you. And so
Right.
unfortunately, he has one of those faces where he would come home just like I used to as a child and be misread the wrong way. And I didn't have a problem. My face may have thought, you may thought I've had a problem. So a lot of times they respond to his face. And so I'm
Mm.
constantly telling him, like, just fix your face. I went through it too, but it makes me nervous for him to be in the street because sometimes it can come off as if he does not care, or it can come
Right.
off as if he's like dismissing you, but he
Hmm.
hears you, but his face does
Yeah.
not say that. So I get a little nervous that there'll be some form of miscommunication in the street. And
Yeah.
so I definitely am concerned about that. So I'm like, put on your smile. Your mama had to do the same thing. Please just smile, son.
Right.
Just smile. Smile, okay? So because we don't want to
Yes.
put you
Yes.
got a
Let me
problem.
see.
But
Yeah.
Deshauna said something really, really key. And I think it's very
Hmm.
important what she just said because it's definitely a level of measurement. But she made a comment that said,
Hmm.
um, when he came home, he knew more about me and advising me, and that made me proud. And let me
Yeah.
tell you, that right there as a mom to know, like, Deshauna, I can definitely relate to that. I know
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
can feel like
Oh yeah.
when we actually let down that guard and let them just go off and see what it is, it's kind of like allowing the little birdie to fly on his own. And when you see that he's actually got to a level that he can do it on his own and that he's surviving, it does make
Hmm.
you like, wow, look at that, look at my son, look at my daughter, like, wow,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
look what they're
And
able to do.
sometimes we don't realize that they're actually paying attention.
Oh no, they're paying attention, they are
Yeah, they are.
paying
They
attention.
are actually paying attention to, I mean, just little things. I remember when everybody knows that I got divorced, after 23 years, and that's all they've ever known was their father. Um, but you know, a divorce is ugly in itself, whether it's amicable or nasty divorce, or
Yeah,
it still, it still hurts. And you try your best not to be like,
Mm-mm.
you need to stop being like your
Mm.
go ahead and sip. There you go. You tried
You know,
hard.
that's a hot topic for me.
Oh, stop being like your dad. Okay?
Like,
No,
I'm gonna try not to say
and, or sometimes they'll have this little quirk about them, or this little how they think, and you say it in your mind, oh my God, he is just like his dad. Oh my God, she is just like his dad. This is what you're thinking in your mind. But then when they turn around, and I remember, gosh, I didn't let the kids know that I was struggling
that.
financially. And all I had left in the bank was like 42 cents until next payday. And so,
Like,
we
Mama,
all live in
I
this.
want the shrimp oodles and noodles.
Look, I couldn't even get that because they're 99 cents. So we all lived in the same house. All of them were working, but I didn't let them know. I'm paying bills. That's what I'm
Yeah,
doing, and
yeah.
I didn't let them know. So what I would do is I would make some sweet tea, and that will be my breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Mm-hmm.
because the sugar, it
Yeah,
takes away the hunger and all of that. So that's what I would do, and I would chew on ice.
yeah.
And my daughter came home with a bag of groceries and started cooking. And I was like, "Oh, that's for her and her baby, and
Wow.
her boo." And she was like, "Mom, time to eat." I was like, "She said I cooked for you." I was
Yeah.
like, they
Wow.
do little subtle things to let them know, I see you. I
Yeah.
know what you're going through. I'm not going to mention anything because I don't want that weirdness of mother daughter kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. I'm supposed to take care of you, and
Yeah.
kind yeah, they do subtle things, just subtle things to let you know, I see you. I
I
see your
see you.
struggle. I
Yeah.
don't need to point it out. I don't need to boast it, like, so you took care of me, but now I'm going to take care of you. No words were exchanged like that, but
Love it.
felt, I
Love it.
felt it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I just, yeah. And those are
Just like
those
the
moments
Shauna.
that they make you proud. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
makes you like, wow, like I did a
yeah.
good job. Um, my biggest thing was to really make sure that I transferred the heart to my children. It was a struggle because when you have a good heart and you want them to have a good heart, it's like who commented? What did they say?
So Teton, he's a good
Oh,
friend of mine. He said, "Our men invited. Yeah, come on in. Come
come on
on
in.
in. Come on in." He's
Wel-
talking about the headphones, though. What's up
wel-
with my headphones?
Welcome to Love Mama. No, sir. Oh,
Yes,
and
all
Carla
are
says,
invited.
"Hey, Prophetess Zanetta and Miss Reed, this is good. Thank you. Thank you for
Oh, yes.
joining us. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you. We really
Carla.
just let us know if you can relate to this. Thank you for letting us know that it was
Yeah,
good. And, let us know that you can relate because, we started off talking about stop saying that, stop saying, I can't wait till they turn 18 because are you really ready? Are you
right,
really, really
right,
ready
right,
for that? You know,
right.
again, I mentioned the other day, you have to be really careful for what you're asking for because you really don't know, you know, um, the toll that it'll take on you or how you're going to respond to it. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's really good.
yeah. I want to ask Teton a question because, as a
Yeah, you still
man,
here? He said, dope show. Thank you.
yeah. Now you talk about some talent.
Yeah.
Mr. Moffat there can make you look like you a superstar on video.
What?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
putting you out there, Teton. As a matter of fact, he was going to be my videographer
I don't know. We got
for
some
my
things coming
speaking
up out of the
engagement.
work. So,
Yeah. So, I would like to know his take on how he raised.
he said,
Look, I'm trying to get you clients, man. Um, so, I want to know how was it to be a man to raise a daughter in the field of because his daughter can sing, daughter can
Mm,
perform. I mean, she's a force to be reckoned with. I'm gonna tell you, she gonna be a triple threat. Yeah.
nice.
So I want to know, that perspective because us moms, we're like, so very understanding some kind of way. We have that leniency, more leniency. I want to, yeah, want to say that we have a little bit more. Well, okay, you're okay. Well, you don't
Yeah.
have to do this today. You can, but men or dads are more like, no, you need to.
Tell me about it.
Are you going to sip again?
I'm telling you, I'm like, calm down. It's
Look, he
okay, Dad.
told him I don't want your fans to recognize
In
me
my
in his
Martin
heart.
Lawrence voice. I know that's right. That is funny. No, seriously. I mean, dads are very, very stern. Like I'm constantly telling Ty, like, calm down. It's okay. It's gonna be
Right.
okay. Those type of things. Because it's different for a father and his daughter, but it's also a different thing with the mom and her son. And it's just one of those things. You see, you just glow. You just like, hmm. No, but seriously, Michelle said truth. Yes, it is. And it doesn't. I don't know. It's just the connections, right? It's
Yeah.
just different
Yeah.
connections, again, it's just because the opposite, you know, genders and things like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, but as a father, he said, it's difficult because you have first I have
To
to.
manage
Yeah,
the dad bravado and
yeah,
become more compassionate and patient. Yeah. Yeah. And it's difficult for us moms to become more, we become so lenient and then, so understanding. But then when we get to the point of, oh no, you're going to do this, it becomes hard because then the child is like, "Psst, that's mom.
right,
That's mom talking."
yeah.
Until dad says something, then when dad says something, then
Oh,
they're like, oh,
oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Daddy said. Dad said. It's so funny because Deshauna said I have 4 boys. Girl, that means you all in love. Lord Jesus. 4 boys. I mean, the energy that they give off, but I don't know. My sons, they're so loving. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just spoiled, but they're just so loving. They're so passionate and compassionate. You know what I mean? And they will say, Mom, like, I love you. Like they're not scared to say it, so I just fall in love with them. But my girls are too. But it's like when your boys say it's like, you're not scared to say that, okay, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say something. I was gonna tell you, oh, yes. So we're homeschooling, right? Like the rest of the world.
How is it working for you?
Yeah. So when you talk about when dad says something versus what mom says, they literally
Mhm.
were picking and choosing who was going to homeschool them that day, this morning. Like, Makai, you want dad? You want to pick dad? Like they were fighting over like, well, what parent you want to take?
Wow.
And lo and behold, they both chose dad. I was like, what? Like, seriously? And they're like, yeah. They were arguing over dad. I was like, I can't believe this.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, really?
Look, my heart would be broken.
They were like, I mean, and I was just sitting there like, I'm gonna make my coffee. Forget you. I'm gonna make my coffee. Y'all go ahead. Guess what? They just got done. I bet you choose me tomorrow.
Yeah, so kids know who and they're amazing to watch. They're amazing little human beings. So when I go back into when they were kids, um, I remember I used to say something, and I had to catch myself, and I was like, "Oh my God, I hope I didn't ruin my two girls." Because we're talking about boys. I
Yeah.
only have one boy, and the girls dubbed him the golden child
Oh.
because he's the only boy, and
Mhm.
plus he's the middle child.
Oh.
So yes, he's the golden
Yeah.
boy, and
Like the
he's a
little
golden
nugget
child.
in the middle.
Yes, right in the middle. So, and he kisses me on the lips in public. He hugs me. He holds my hand. He because he's so tall. He shows affection, and let me tell you, he is so open with me.
Yeah. I love that though.
Mm-mm,
No?
no,
No?
mm-mm, mm-mm. There's
Oh,
certain things that you
I
need to keep to
love it.
yourself. No.
I love it. I'm just like, wow. You
there's
trust
certain
me? You
there's
wanna talk
certain
to me?
things that I don't want to know.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like talking, your children being very transparent? Maybe you have that experience. Let us know. I meant to tell you all in the beginning, if you are commenting, please, you have to give StreamYard permission for us to see who it is that's commenting. Otherwise, you just come up as a comment. Um, we said I have three girls and they think they are my mother. Yes. Well, guess what? I think that my son acts like my father. Even when he comes in the room, I'm like, oh, here comes my father. If he has a question, all that. Well, what you doing? What you this? Where you going? And I'm like, dude, like I'm the mama still. But yeah, DeJohna said yes, they think they're my father. They're very protective, but I
Yeah,
wouldn't have it any other way.
yeah.
We
And I
I
like
wouldn't.
I like what Teton had said up in the let me see. You are the energy that sets the pathway for relationships, and you want to emulate real love.
Yes.
Not only is he a talented videographer, uh, YouTuber, um, media mogul, he's also a poet.
Find out we gotta bring him on for wisdom words.
Look, okay.
Find out we gotta bring him on for Wednesday's wisdom words. Come on.
Oh, all right. You don't know what you're asking
No, seriously, seriously. So, but thank you. Yes, that's very true. We are the
for.
energy, and I love that because again, stop saying that they're 18. It really just gives us a Rona is calling me. But it gives it. Go get some tea.
It better not be that other corona.
Go get some tea. Wash your hands and cover your mouth. So seriously, but I love it because again, stop saying that you can't wait till they turn 18. 18 is
Yeah.
really that moment where they can show you all that you have instilled. They will expose you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sit
Mm-hmm.
back and I'm so excited and so proud of them because they really when I thought, like you said in the beginning, he said lime and a smile.
That's
But
right.
in the beginning where it felt so like a grieving, it actually turned into be one of the best things ever. One of the closest moments we had was when he left to go to college. And
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And I remember waking up the next day and telling my husband and telling I said, we had the best conversation. And he said, well, I just hung up with him and he said the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like, we experienced that both together, but I could not experience that if I did not release the fact that I couldn't wait till he turned 18. I wanted to embrace 18. I wanted to embrace
Yeah.
18 and older. So
Yeah.
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, my niece is back on.
hey,
Hi,
you
Lael.
from the Philippines?
Yeah. Now with her, look at my face.
She paused. I was looking at the computer. Hey, how are you? Hello. Thank you for joining us again today.
My niece, she really didn't have a mom,
Mm-hmm.
so it was me and my sister, who became, kind of like her mom. My mom became her mom, even though it was her grandmother. But she's how old are you now, Lael? I think she's like 26 or something like that.
Okay.
And I want to strangle her.
She didn't just say that. She didn't say that.
Oh, she will comment on here and she will say,
She was
yes,
like, yeah, she do. She do.
the time that she would help me virtually.
That means she loves you. That means she
Yes.
absolutely loves you.
Because you want the best, not only just for your kids, but
Yeah.
also for your nieces and nephews.
Absolutely.
You become that mom figure.
Yeah.
Like what we were saying, our kids become like our parent.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest
Because they
thing
think they know everything. That's it. That's all.
oldest thing you know, she's my
Auntie, I'm
mom.
27. She's 27. Hey, Vicky, thank you for joining us this evening. Oh, man, we've been just having a really good time on here. You're going to have to, and we've been having a lot of fun on here today and really just talking about something that I know that a lot of parents can relate to. Stop saying that I can't wait till they turn 18 and really embrace that chapter. Really, really embrace it. It's an amazing, amazing chapter in their lives and an opportunity to bond with our kids and to fall out and rekindle again with our kids. Just all of those things just take place after they turn 18 because they're going through so many different things.
So what's the most difficult conversation you ever had with your kids?
So I don't even know where to start, but we're very, very close, right? So a lot of people know our story, but those of you who do not know, the most difficult conversation was when our children had to sit us down in the midst of separation and get our attention, and they called a family meeting and basically had to tell us, like, you have to get your stuff together, and
hold up. So your kids talked to you and dad and said, basically, y'all need to grow up.
Basically. And
wow,
that was the most difficult conversation ever, to be sat down as the parent. So I know someone mentioned earlier they act like our parents, but let me tell you, at that moment, so I always tell the story because that was a crucial turning point in our relationship for them to call us down, because you walk around the house and you're not talking to each other, or you're constantly separated. They see you moving bags and that one's coming in and all this extra stuff, but to be sat down, and they weren't even 18 then. They weren't even 18. They were like, maybe, oh God, if I can guesstimate, maybe about 14, 13, 14. And it was like, we need to call a family meeting. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that moment right there, even though it didn't feel good in the moment, it's also one that I can reflect back on right now and be very proud of, because what they did was they exampled something that we had instilled in them. When something is wrong, call a family meeting. So what it does to me now is they know how to handle a difficult situation, not just fly off the handles and not just to react. Call a family meeting and let's talk about it. So it showed me that they had really good, effective communication skills through that moment. So we needed them to be the parent. So yeah, to be sat down by your kids to say,
wow,
we've come this far, and for you all need to get it together, because we're not, we're a family, and we're going to do everything to stay together. So for your kids to say that was huge.
Wow.
Now that was
so
the most difficult conversation.
And here's oh my, Teton said, daughter number 3, why her breasts aren't growing yet. No cycle yet. She had tears in her eyes. I had no clue what to do, so I just hugged her. 1 year later, I'm rushing to get pads because she had her first cycle. I'm running around looking for a starter kit. A starter kit! Oh my God, bless your heart.
Hold on. Teton, I'm a creative, right? Hold up. Daddy needs starter kit. I'm a creative all day. Tell me
But
what you
you
need.
know that that's a real, you know,
But that's true.
that's a real struggle. I mean, for a girl to come to her dad and ask those questions, you know, for us, we don't take it, we don't, I mean, we take it for granted because, you know, hey, the reason why you haven't grown breasts is because you got my side.
Oh, girl, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Look, you'll be fine. That's what we were saying.
It'll grow, you know, it'll grow. And you know, for yes, a business idea, yes, a starter kit for men. I'm telling
In
you.
my face.
Yeah.
But seriously. No,
I
seriously.
mean, those are certain things that you know, those are the conversations that we actually had. Oh
Listen,
no, no, but
let me tell you. I get you. I totally get you. It's funny because like I said, our kids, they have, they bring us some really hard conversations, right? As parents, they really, really do. And it's like,
yeah,
oh God, here we go. I think my next hardest conversation was just learning, about my children. I know they don't mind now, but they're older, but just both learning that your children, um, uh, both children exposed that they've lost their virginity, Lord Jesus, on the same day at the same time, just taking all that
those
in.
conversations that I don't need to know the details. Just tell me what happened. That's it. You don't give me
I,
detail.
I'm telling you, it was just like, and Deshauna mentioned that. Deshauna mentioned
Yes.
about, just opening up the conversation. And that's what
Yeah.
we had did at that moment because we were used to having conversations. And I just seen all this. I don't know. It just felt weird. Like what's going on, guys, right? Like you both cutting up right now. Like, come on, let's have a conversation. So we sat down again as a family and had a conversation. They both were like, yeah, I had, and I asked the questions, but I wasn't ready. Like, he said, what was that, a contest, Monica? He said, was that a contest? What part? So was that I don't understand, but let me know. Definitely. But just to learn that information, that was so hard. Cause I was like, I was expecting one to say it, not both of them to say it, but I wanted to know. And that was like, wow. Oh, wow. And I tend to do that as a mom. I ask a lot of questions and then I'm not ready.
I think I was more of I want to say a liberal mom
Uh-huh.
in terms of
Oh.
uh,
He said, was that a contest? Both of them losing their virginity.
oh, that is too funny.
So let me tell you.
Rivalry.
I felt, how I just felt like, how something hit you this way and hit you that way at the same time. I was like, what in the, you both? Like, what? You both? I just felt blindsided, but at the same, yeah. So I don't know who was in the race. I think they both were in the race that day, though, to be the first to get it out. Because they were like, look,
No.
you get in trouble, you're going to get in trouble too. So that's how it was like, okay, well, she confessed. Oh, he confessed. Oh, yeah, we could both confess, and it was like, hold on. So, but yeah, so your real conversation, but I love it. Like, I love, I don't know. I just love it. So I learned to stop saying that.
Yeah, me too. I love the conversations and the openness that me and my kids have.
Yep.
The hardest one that I had a conversation was because my oldest is not from my ex, and but we raised her ever since she was a toddler. I think she was like she wasn't even walking. She wasn't even talking. So raised her that way. Just didn't tell her, let her know. So when it was time for her to, I guess it was during her middle school, and we had to go to a different school. You know how you have that split from elementary school to middle school?
Yeah.
Now you got to transfer all these documents.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw her name. And she was wondering why her name was different. Her So I was like, oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
um, we didn't talk
Oh.
about that over steak last night.
So we had that conversation. It was just her and I in the beginning. Hello.
He said the oil, the sex demons out.
I told you, you don't know what you're asking for if when you talking about you want Teton on your show. Okay.
We're gonna bring him out. We're gonna bring him out. Oh my God, he said the olive oil, bro. Let me tell you. Oh goodness. Oh God. No, I didn't want to introduce any oil to them because they would have had a whole nother idea.
Another idea. Oh, this is good idea, Mom.
You know, these kids are advanced nowadays. They're like, what you do with that oil? Let me try that. So, but yeah, I'm telling you, yeah. So that name is, yeah, for those parents who are who who have
You know, a
different last names. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
had this.
wanted to tell her when she was getting a little bit older, you know, where she can understand, but you know, it already presented itself. So I
Yeah,
talked to her about it.
opportunity.
And ever since then, she was obsessed in fighting her father.
Wow.
So so now, you know, we're trying to look for the father, and we had to tell the other kids that, you know, Zaneta, the two younger ones.
Yeah.
And they were like, she's still my sister, you know, kind of thing. And they didn't understand, you know, but that was difficult. It was difficult because then my oldest thought that I was trying to keep a secret from her.
Um,
And I said, no,
yeah,
no. I just wanted to wait for the right time. Sometimes when we try to wait for the right time, you know, it's not.
it's never gonna be.
It'll present itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will always present itself. Yeah.
A time will present itself. I don't think it's always the right time. Talk about vegetarian love.
Right.
The
Yeah,
Shauna,
it will.
I couldn't imagine hard conversations with my boys until police brutality got bad. The conversation wasn't hard. It is hard. It's not being afraid.
What is hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is hard is not
Yeah.
being afraid for them. Yeah, that is true.
Absolutely.
That is hard. Yeah.
Yeah. We're both like, yeah.
Yeah, because my son, you know, however he feels sometimes, he'll have the fro, or he'll have um, the 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 dreads kind of, you know, thing. The I don't know what's called, but you know, the men style. Okay. And then sometimes he'll have that, you know, that clean cut, depending on how he feels.
Yeah.
So depending on what he looks like or his hair
Mm-hmm.
looks like is depending on whether he's going to get pulled over or not.
Yeah.
So I told him, obey every law. When you stop, feel the car dip. When you feel the car dip, that's when you know you made a full stop. Then go. He was like, okay, Mom, and he does that, you know. So thank
Wow.
God that he's a very personable person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. So his personality carries him,
That's
even though he looks like
what is that boy?
he looks like
I'm exactly, exactly. But yeah, I'm glad we jumped on for this conversation because this was amazing because like I said, I really just wanted people to again with Love Mama, we always talking about being intentional. And we have to really be intentional about what we're saying as well and what we're saying. So when we're saying I can't wait till they turn 18, it's like, okay, make
yeah,
sure you're ready for that and don't rush it. Don't rush it. Enjoy the moments with them while you can. And so I think what I learned again was to really just if I could just recap to me in my world, I know some say, don't coach them, but to just really guide them, guide them in the best that you can with what you have and what you know. The other thing is that to allow them to learn through experience.
mm-hmm,
And I think that lastly, what freed me a lot from trying to, keep a strong hold on them was to know that I was that I am the steward over top of them, just to protect them and to make sure that they are safe until they leave the nest.
Yeah.
You know, and then I have to trust that they will follow the rules and all this and all those other things. So yeah, but now and then it became more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it was like,
So what is
whew,
so what is the greatest, or not greatest, but what is the best advice or lesson that you have learned that you have to over 18, for those moms and parents or dads that are going into that? What's a good advice or a good lesson that you've learned to give to them that um, that would, like Michelle said, she's not ready for that yet. What advice can you give that could just a little bit prepare them a little bit?
just really to me, what's worked for me is just to be open to whatever it is that they have to say, be open to their choices in life, and to learn to accept that this is their life, right? But just really keep open the lines of communication. Keep open the lines of communication, because a lot of times our children are shutting down in the world. They don't have anybody to talk to. And
Mm,
so if you as a parent do that at home, and they can exercise, especially those who are always in their phone, if they could just exercise how to communicate, how to express their feelings, then I think that when we send them out into the world, they won't be so um, they'll be able to take it, right? They won't be so depressed. They won't be so um, defensive because they can't express themselves, right? So just really just keep open the lines of communications, and um, ask questions. They're not just going
no
to
matter how
voluntarily
hard,
ask questions. And
no
I
matter how hard the conversation is.
Yeah, just ask a lot of questions. Ask random. I mean, I would catch my kids off guard. I'd be like, so. And if I tell you some of the questions I asked, and they'd be like, Mom, like, no.
Yeah.
Did you stop by the store to go get? One of those things.
Oh yeah.
But it's just to let them know that I'm aware. I'm not, you know, oblivious to what's going on out here in the world. I'm not, I know what you're doing, all those different things. And it's okay to talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It,
Yeah.
it is. It's like what you said. Make sure you're protected.
Yeah.
Um, you got those squares.
I like that. You got your
Those
squares.
squares? Okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Transparency, adaptation, grow again with them. Yes. Just grow with them. I love that part. Like,
Yeah.
just really experience with them. And for me, I don't know about you, Zanetta, but for me, we became parents at a very young age. We had no choice but to grow up with them.
Yeah.
And that's what was a lot of contribute. But I think now it's just like, wow, we're experiencing things all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just grow with them, and just tap back into the fact that you used to be their age,
Right.
and
Right.
what were your choices then, and who could tell you what then, those type of, just be relatable at
Exactly.
this point, and I think it'll all work out. So
Yeah.
embrace 18,
So,
embrace it. But thank
yes.
you. This is
Embrace it.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's amazing. So you guys are going to have to come on and join us again. We're going to just really be on here as much as possible, and invite some guests in to have some good conversation, you all, because I know that our mothers and fathers, right,
Yes.
need to be empowered, be encouraged, and be inspired, and just be supported by everyone, and especially now, especially when you're locked in with the kids, and you might need
Yeah.
that adult conversation. Come on and jump on the
Yeah.
conversation with us.
Come on, and feel free to be transparent,
Absolutely.
and there's no question, or there's no topic to that is taboo for us,
Yes.
because we're all in this together, and we're living in what we call life. that things just happen.
Exactly. And if you want to come on, let us know. We'll
Yeah,
definitely
we
invite
guess.
you in. And we're going to be doing this as often as possible. And just like I said, just let us know. We'll bring you behind the scenes into the broadcast room and have you air with us. So
Yeah. And
thank you,
share,
Zaneta, for joining me today again.
share, share, share.
Share, yes, yes. Share the conversation. People are looking for some good conversation. Our moms definitely are looking for some conversation today. So please be sure to share this broadcast, and we will see you back for Love Mama Inspires again. Bye bye.